Yesterday, I met my dad at Felix's. This is in the Spanish Fort area near Mobile for his birthday, which is today. This is my dad. Daddy, what's tomorrow?
Thursday.
But what happens tomorrow?
Birthday.
Yes. How old are you going to be?
182.
82. Now,
82.
Are you going to flip the numbers around and just be 28?
I think I will. If I can know what I know now.
Yeah. How does it feel to be almost 82?
It feels old.
Old. If you could
It hurts.
It hurts. Does it hurt your heart or does it hurt your body?
Just my legs.
Your legs. So if you could go back to 50 years old, let's say 50, because I'm 52. If you could go back to 52, from age 52 to 82, what would you do differently?
Wouldn't smoke.
No smoke, okay.
I would watch my health. Take better care of my health.
Yeah. So
I didn't think I was going to live this long.
Are you telling me I'm going to have to exercise?
Yep. And eat healthy.
I was going to buy your lunch today, but I don't. Now that you're telling me I have to exercise, I don't think I'm going to do
I may not eat. I may just have water. It's not fattening.
All right. Happy early birthday.
Thank you, baby.
Love you. We scored a really great table overlooking the water, and it was so strange because the horizon really is kind of invisible, but there were some beautiful cormorants out there swimming. Those are some of my favorite water birds. I had fried fish and shrimp combo. My dad had cobia with hollandaise sauce and a crab cake, and he really liked it, as you'll see. Daddy, I'm sorry you didn't like your food.
Yeah. It was terrible.
This is awful. You want your money back?
Yeah. Killed my appetite.
You didn't like it?
No, that's why it killed my appetite.
He said eating that food killed his appetite. It made him full.
It made you full.
And Roy would say, yeah, we've been in the restaurant business nearly 100 years, and we know good service when we see it, and you're really good. And they just eat it up, you know, and they come back to it. That's one good way to get them to come back to the table. If they want to hear more of that, so they keep on doing it. Then when we ask for the check, again, whichever one didn't get the check, we'll say, just like I just did, I said, your service, I'm telling you, just outstanding. If we were tippers, you'd sure get one, a good one.
That's a really good dad joke.
Yeah, it works. Too.
Well, you are my dad, so you should have all the dad jokes.
Try it sometime on your service.
Oh, I've said it.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to carry on the tradition.
Yeah.
I learned it from you. So.
Yeah.
And they're usually really sweet, and they act like it's the first time they've ever heard anybody say that to them.
Not like me at all.
I saw an interview one time. It was a professional interview. I don't even remember what it was about. But in the interview, the interviewer asked a guy, he said, how old are your parents? And I think he said his parents were in their 70s. And he said, okay, so maybe they might live 15 more years. And he said, how many times a year do you see your parents? And he said, twice a year. And he said, okay, so you may think you have 15 more years with your parents, but what you really have is 30 more visits with your parents. And that really hit me. My mom is 81 and my dad is 82, and my stepdad, who I also call my dad, is 83. And you think, oh, you know, maybe I'll have 10 more years. If I'm lucky, maybe 15 more years. But no, what you really have is you take the number of years you think they have left or you have left, and you multiply it by how many times a year you see them. And that's how many more visits you have with them. So I've tried to be super mindful this year of spending more time with my parents. I'm lucky that I only live about 4.5, 5 hours away. And we can meet halfway like this and do lunch, and it's really nice. But I think it's important to make more time for family, because as I've gotten older and I've asked people, what would you do differently from age 50 to age 70 or age 50 to age 60? And people always say the same things. They say, I would spend more time with family and I would travel more. And so that's really my goal for the rest of my life, is to spend more time with family and to travel more. So even though it's only an hour and a half or 2 hours that I got to spend with my dad, I got to see him. And while he still feels like driving and I can drive, and luckily being self-employed allows me some versatility with my schedule and flexibility, so I'm able to come over and just spend a nice lunch with him and celebrate with him, because He moved to California when I was 6 years old. He's lived on the West Coast my whole adult life. And since 2019, he's been back. And so I want to maximize the time that I get to spend with him. You know, families aren't perfect, but we have to make the best with what we have. And I'm grateful for all the times we get to visit. So very special.